My name is Celine. I am 34 years old, and I need to say something that has lived inside me for many years. I hated my father for a long time because I believed he lied to me. I did not always feel this way. When I was a child, I loved him very much. He was quiet, but he was always there. He made my breakfast every morning. He brushed my hair before school, even when he did not do it well. He burned the toast sometimes, and we laughed about it. Those small things felt safe to me. But there was always one empty space in my life: my mother. I do not remember her clearly. I only have soft, broken images. A hand brushing my hair, a voice humming in the kitchen, a smell like soap and something sweet. But those memories feel far away, like they belong to someone else. When I was 6, I asked my father where she was. He did not answer right away. He looked at me for a long time. Then he said, "She left us." That was all. I remember sitting at the table, holding my spoon, not knowing what to do with those words. Left us. It sounded simple, but it felt heavy. "Why?" I asked. He shook his head. "I don't know." I believed him. I believed that she chose to go. I believed that she did not want me. And slowly, that belief became part of who I was. As I grew older, I stopped asking questions. My father never spoke about her again, and I learned to stay quiet. It felt easier that way. But inside me, something was growing. It was not just sadness, it was anger. At school, when other children talked about their mothers, I stayed silent. When there were events for parents, I stood next to my father and tried not to look at the other families. I told myself I did not care, but I did. At night, I would lie in bed and think about her. I imagined her living somewhere far away, happy, free, and without me. That thought hurt more than anything. Sometimes I would whisper into the dark, "Why didn't you want me?" There was no answer. As a teenager, my anger became stronger. It changed the way I saw everything. If someone forgot to call me, I felt it deeply. If a friend canceled plans, I thought it meant they did not care. I was always waiting for people to leave. My father tried his best. I can see that now, but back then I only saw what was missing. He worked long hours, he came home tired, he cooked simple meals, he asked me about my day, but I did not make it easy for him. I remember one evening very clearly. I was 17. I had just come home from school. I threw my bag on the floor and sat on the couch. He was in the kitchen. I could hear the sound of a pan and the smell of something cooking. "Dinner is almost ready," he said. I did not answer. He came into the living room and looked at me. "How was your day?" I shrugged. He waited. I could feel his eyes on me. Then something inside me broke. "It's always the same," I said. "You ask me that every day." He frowned a little. "I just want to know how you are." "Why?" I asked. My voice was sharp. "So you can feel like a good parent?" He looked hurt, but he did not raise his voice. "Celine, what is wrong?" Everything was wrong, but I did not know how to say it. So I said the thing that had been inside me for years. "She left because of you, didn't she?" The room became very quiet. My father stood still. He looked at me like he did not understand. "You must have done something," I continued. "People don't just leave for no reason." He opened his mouth, then closed it again. "I bet you made her unhappy," I said. "I bet that's why she left us." His face changed. I had never seen him like that before. There was pain in his eyes, deep and quiet. "That is not true," he said softly. "How do you know?" I asked. "You said you didn't know why she left." He looked down at the floor. His hands were shaking a little. "I told you what I thought was best," he said. "What you thought was best?" I repeated. "Or what made you look better?" He did not answer. That silence made me even more angry. "I wish she took me with her," I said. As soon as the words left my mouth, I felt something twist inside me, but it was too late. My father took a step back, like I had pushed him. He nodded slowly, as if he accepted something painful. "I'm sorry you feel that way," he said. He went back into the kitchen. I could hear him moving things, but slower than before. I sat there, staring at the wall, my heart beating fast. I told myself I was right. I told myself he deserved it. But deep inside, I felt something else. Something small and quiet. It felt like regret, but I pushed it away. That night, we ate in silence. After that, things changed between us. Not in a loud way, not in a clear way, but something was different. We spoke less, we shared fewer moments. We lived in the same house, but it felt like we were far apart. When I left for college, I did not cry. He helped me pack my things. He carried my bags to the car. He told me to take care of myself. I nodded. There were many things I could have said, but I did not say any of them. As the car moved away, I looked at him through the window. He stood there, small and still. For a second, I almost asked the driver to stop. I almost ran back and hugged him, but I didn't. I turned away. Life moved on. I built my own routine. I studied. I worked. I made friends. I smiled and laughed and did all the things people do. But the anger never fully left me. Every time I thought about my mother, the same feeling came back. That deep, quiet pain. That question with no answer. Why did she leave me? And every time I saw my father's name on my phone, I felt something hard inside my chest. I called him less and less. When we spoke, the conversations were short. "How are you?" he would ask. "I'm fine," I would say. "Are you eating well?" "Yes." "Are you sleeping enough?" "Yes." There was always a small pause before we ended the call, like both of us were waiting for something more, but it never came. Years passed like that. I told myself I did not need answers anymore. I told myself I had accepted the past, but that was not true. The truth is, I was still carrying it. I was still that little girl sitting at the table, holding a spoon, trying to understand why her mother did not want her. Everything changed one ordinary afternoon. I was cleaning my apartment. It was my day off, and I wanted to do something simple. I opened old boxes that I had not touched in years. Most of them were filled with small things: old notebooks, photos, letters from friends. Then I found a small, worn envelope. It did not have my name on it. It was not even sealed. I almost put it aside. It looked unimportant. But something made me open it. Inside, there was a piece of paper, old and slightly folded. I sat down on the floor and looked at it. My hands felt cold. I did not know why, but I felt like this paper was going to change something. I took a slow breath, and then I started to read. The paper was not long, the words were simple, but each line felt heavy in my hands. It was written in a soft, uneven handwriting. I knew right away that it was not my father's writing. It was hers. My chest tightened. For a moment, I could not breathe. I had never seen her writing before, but something inside me recognized it. It felt strange and familiar at the same time. I looked at the first line. Celine, it said. Just my name. No dear, no explanation, just my name. My fingers trembled as I kept reading. I don't know if you will ever read this. I don't know if your father will keep this letter or throw it away, but I need to write it. I swallowed slowly. My eyes moved across the page. I am not leaving because I don't love you. My heart stopped for a second. Those words did not match the story I had lived with for years. I read the line again and again. I am not leaving because I don't love you. My eyes filled with tears, but I kept going. I am leaving because I am not safe for you. I wish I was different. I wish I could be the mother you deserve, but I am not, and I am afraid of what I might do if I stay. My hands began to shake more. I lose control sometimes. I say things I cannot take back. I feel anger that I do not understand. I see fear in your eyes, and it breaks me, but it also makes me feel worse. I do not want you to grow up afraid of me. A quiet sound escaped my throat. I did not know I was making it. I have asked for help, but I am not better yet. I don't know when I will be. Maybe never. Your father is stronger than me. He can give you a safe home. He can protect you. The room felt smaller. The air felt thick. I told him to tell you that I left. I told him to let you hate me if that is easier. It is better for you to think I chose to go than to know the truth. My vision blurred. He wanted to tell you everything one day, but I asked him not to. I said it would only hurt you. I said it would confuse you. Maybe I am wrong. I don't know anymore. My hands were cold now. I love you, Celine. I have always loved you. That is why I am leaving. That is why I will stay away. I hope one day you can have a peaceful life, even if I am not part of it. The letter ended there. No goodbye, no name, just empty space. I sat on the floor for a long time. I did not move. I did not think. I just held the paper and stared at it. Everything inside me felt quiet, but not in a peaceful way. It was the kind of quiet that comes after something breaks. The story I had believed for so many years was gone. In its place, there was something else, something harder, something heavier. My mother did not leave because she didn't want me. She left because she believed she was dangerous to me. And my father carried that truth alone. I thought about all the years I spent blaming him, all the words I said, all the distance I created. I wish she took me with her. The memory came back clearly. I closed my eyes. He knew the truth when I said that. He knew what she was afraid of. He knew what he was protecting me from. And still, he said nothing. He let me hate him. He let me believe a lie. For me. The room felt too small. I stood up quickly, my legs unsteady. I needed air. I needed space. I needed to move. But no matter where I went, the truth followed me. The lie that hurt me was the same lie that saved me. I whispered those words without thinking. They felt strange, but they also felt right. I looked at my phone. My father's number was there. It had always been there. I had not called him in weeks. My finger hovered over his name. For a moment, I felt afraid, not of him, but of what I would feel when I heard his voice. Then I pressed the call button. The phone rang once, twice, 3 times. I almost ended the call. Then I heard his voice. Hello? It was the same voice I had known all my life. Calm, quiet, familiar. But something inside me shifted when I heard it. Hi, I said. My voice sounded small. There was a short silence. Celine? He asked. Yes. Another pause. I could feel his surprise. Is everything okay? He asked. I looked at the letter in my hand. No, I said softly, but I think it can be. He did not understand yet. I could hear it in his silence. I found something today, I continued. He did not speak. It's a letter, I said. From her. The line became very quiet. I could almost hear his breath. I read it, I said. Another silence. Longer this time. I'm sorry, he said. His voice was low, careful. Those 2 words broke something inside me. Why didn't you tell me? I asked. My voice was not angry. It was tired. I wanted to, he said, many times. Then why didn't you? He took a slow breath. Because I promised her, he said, and because I was afraid. Afraid of what? I asked. Afraid that it would hurt you, he said. Afraid that you would feel confused. Afraid that you would think something was wrong with you. I closed my eyes. I already thought something was wrong with me, I said. The words came out gently, but they carried years of pain. I know, he said. His voice shook a little. I saw it, he continued. I saw how it affected you, and every time I wondered if I made the right choice. Did you? I asked. There was a long pause. I don't know, he said honestly. I just wanted you to feel safe. I wanted you to have a normal childhood. I thought if you believed she left by choice, maybe it would be easier than knowing she was struggling. I looked down at the letter again. It wasn't easy, I said. I know, he replied. We both stayed quiet for a moment. There were so many things I wanted to say, so many years between us. I said terrible things to you, I said finally. You were hurting, he answered. That doesn't make it okay. No, he said, but I understood. That made it harder. I sat down slowly on the chair near me. I told you I wished she took me with her, I said. He did not answer right away. I remember, he said softly. I'm sorry, I whispered. The words felt small compared to what I had done, but they were real. I'm sorry too, he said. For what? I asked. For not finding a better way, he replied. For not telling you the truth at the right time. For letting you carry that pain alone. I shook my head, even though he could not see me. You were trying to protect me, I said. Yes, he said. And I thought you were the reason she left. I know. The silence this time felt different. It was not empty. It was full of things we were finally starting to understand. Can I see you? I asked. There was a small change in his breath. Of course, he said quickly. Any time. I can come this weekend, I said. I'll be here, he replied. I smiled a little. It was a small smile, but it felt new. After we ended the call, I sat there for a long time. The letter was still in my hand. I read it again, slowly. This time, the words felt different. They still hurt, but they also made sense in a way they did not before. My mother loved me, but she was not able to stay. My father stayed, even when it was hard, even when it meant carrying a lie. A few days later, I stood in front of his house. Nothing had changed outside. The same door, the same small steps, the same quiet feeling. But inside me, everything felt different. I knocked. I heard his footsteps coming closer. The door opened. He looked older than I remembered. His hair was more gray. His face had more lines. But his eyes were the same. For a moment, we just looked at each other. Then, I stepped forward and hugged him. He held me tightly, like he was afraid I might disappear. I'm sorry, I said into his shoulder. You're here, he replied. That's enough. We stayed like that for a second, maybe longer. When we pulled away, I saw tears in his eyes. I had never seen him cry before. We went inside. The house felt smaller than I remembered, or maybe I had just grown. We sat at the same table where I once held a spoon and heard the words that shaped my life. I brought the letter, I said. He nodded. I thought you might want to see it again. He took it carefully, like it was something fragile. I never threw it away, he said. I'm glad you didn't, I replied. He looked at the paper for a long time. I read this many times, he said, especially on hard days. I watched him quietly. I wanted to hate her, but I couldn't. I saw how much she was struggling. Do you know where she is now? I asked. He shook his head. No, he said. I haven't heard from her in years. I nodded slowly. There was a part of me that wanted to find her, to ask questions, to hear her voice. But another part of me felt calm. Some things do not need answers to be understood. We talked for a long time that day. Not about everything, not all at once, but little by little we filled the space that had been empty for years. We spoke about simple things too. Food, work, old memories. At one point, he stood up and went to the kitchen. I'll make tea, he said. I smiled. He still moved the same way, slow and careful. When he came back, he placed the cup in front of me. Careful, he said. It's hot. I laughed softly. Some things never change. We sat there, holding our cups, sharing a quiet moment. It felt simple. It felt real. And for the first time in many years, it felt enough. I used to think the truth would fix everything. I thought it would remove the pain. But the truth did not do that. It did something else. It helped me understand. It showed me that love is not always easy. It is not always clear. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like distance. Sometimes it even looks like a lie. My father lied to me. That is still true. But now I see it differently. He lied because he wanted to protect me. He lied because he was trying to carry something too heavy for a child. And I I carried anger for many years because I did not know the full story. Now I do. We cannot go back and change the past. We cannot take back the words we said, but we can choose what we do with the truth when we finally see it. That day, sitting at the table with my father, I felt something I had not felt in a long time. Peace. Not perfect peace, but enough. The lie that hurt me was the same lie that saved me. And now it is just a quiet memory, like an old scar that no longer aches, but still reminds me of where I have been.